And welcome back to the channel, everyone. I hope you're doing great. This is CryptoArk. Sorry for my absence. I know it has been a long time since the very last video, but here we are again. And today we're going to talk about a very interesting topic called Wick Fill. I have been talking about on Twitter for a while, and a lot of people do not understand what the Wick Fill concept is. In my opinion, what I have seen across different years, across different assets, not just crypto. You can go to stock market, you can go anywhere. Is one of the most strongest psychologies in the market ever is Wick Fill, right? It works 8 out of 10 times. And people try to not understand because they just try to ignore the concept or they think the concept is not there. But I will explain in this video exactly what that means, what is behind the psychology, and why it works so good, right? So for now, I'm going to turn off all my indicators because we don't need indicators. Wick Fill is something pure based on price action and market psychology, okay? Let's go to a high time frame, like 4 hours. You can see in 1 hour as well, but 4 hours will be much easier to see. So you see, this is a big drop, right? This is a big move. From here to here, 25% in Bitcoin. And then happens over the period, a very short period, right? Like 20 hours, 1 day. And the market drops 25%. In that scenario is where Wick Fill will play perfectly, right? You can go back in time. Let's try that again. You're going to see here, there's another Wick Fill, right? Let's spot some of those. Another Wick Fill. Another Wick Fill. And what happened here? The market filled that wick. Let's go back. Here, a Wick Fill. Market filled that wick. Here, Wick Fill. Market filled that wick. Wick Fill. Again, right? Here, Wick Fill. Wick Fill. You can see so many times. Here, Wick Fill. We're going to talk about one by one for sure. How many Wick Fills we have here? Around 8? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 so far. Okay. And the last one that I remember that did not get filled was a very, let's put in log scale, was this one. The very well-known COVID crash. That was the only wick that I remember in the last 2, 3, 4 years of Bitcoin that did not get filled. But that has a good reason for that as well, right? It has a very good reason. What is the only good reason for not filling this wick? Well, if you go to that very special chart that has, all the history of Bitcoin, let's go to the daily, and you think this is a channel, right, that many people talk about, is a channel across many years in Bitcoin, that wick was at the very bottom of the channel. So that was a very good reason to not fill that wick. Same thing happened back here, right? And this was what? 2015, right? At $100. That wick never got filled. This wick never got filled. All the other wicks, they got filled, right? And let's now jump back into the chart and understand why wicks get filled, right? What is the market psychology behind it? You can argue that on going up, it can also happen, right? But it's not very often. It's not guaranteed. The Wick Fill psychology happens on the downside, on the down move, on the drastic down move. And again, this is not a concept that I invented. This is a guy, if you want to go to the source, this is a guy called Wicks Don't Lie, and he has the concept of Wick Fills. That's how I learned Wick Fills, right? And I apply it to every single market. It works 100%. Well, 80%, right? 8 out of 10. That's how it works. That's what I noticed. Let's discuss. Market, brutal move, right? 25%, 20%. you gotta have those aggressive moves, right? And then you have immediately bought up, right? A lot of people said, wow, this is great, or filled my orders, right? If you remember back in May, if you were here, this week was exactly at 30K. Like that was precise to the dollar in BTC USDT on Binance. People had a lot of buying orders at 30K, and that got filled perfectly. Again, this was a 30% move in few hours, in a day. Okay? So when that happens, the market will bounce very, very strongly, right? The bounce from here to here is 40%. Is usually higher than in terms of percentage, right? It's more than the downside. So the downside was 30, but the upside is 40. Of course, in terms of absolute dollars, we did not get back to the entry point, right? To the point of the drop, of course, but you got close enough, right? So when you see this scenario, for me, is clear enough. Get out of the market. This is a wick fill, right? Why is a wick fill? The market now has a need. People, a lot of people are playing this game. Not just you, not just me, not just few people, a lot. And when they see this, right, they are not in front of the computer. They're with their families, doing their job, doing something else. A lot of big investors, hedge funds, they do not sit 100% of the time in front of the chart. Even if people they do that, they cannot stay 100% connected to the game. So you have to sleep, you have to eat, you have to do something. So basically, when this happens, who was the people buying here? Only few. Only few. You can argue, I don't know how much is the percentage, but you can argue 5% of the players, or maybe less, right? But after that happens, everyone, 100% of the players, they now know, hey, we can go that low, right? We can come to this level. So you know what? If Johnny got Bitcoin at 30K, why should I buy Bitcoin higher? I want to get a 30K or even lower, right? That's the concept of wick fill. That's what happens. The market psychology, buyers are waiting. You're going to see a lot of buyers. Yes, bounce. You see power, you see strong, you see strength. But the huge buying is still not there because you did not fill that wick. People still waiting to say, hey, I want to get the same price that Johnny got. So I want to be in the top 2%, in the top 1%, right? I want to get the same price. When you got to that price or lower, again, you're going to have a strong move. Boom. Okay? That's what happened here. And same market psychology. A lot of people buy here. A lot of people will sell immediately because they make a lot of money. This is a big move again. This is 20% move. Imagine outs. And then got sold out. And people, again, buyers are just down here. They're just waiting. So it can take days, it can take weeks, it can take a month, just like here. 30 days to fill a single week. But when you got there, you got the buyers, you have enough time to grab that liquidity, right? The key point of wick fill is the liquidity. The liquidity is here. What is the liquidity? Number of buyers, right? They're just waiting. Let me switch to 8 hours. Yeah. So they're just waiting down here, right? They're not FOMO. They will not FOMO. They will not be like 80% of the traders. They're not jumping the price here, 38, 34. They will not do that because they know there is a week to be filled. They don't use this concept, right? Most of the people don't say week has to be filled, but they say, hey, the price is down there, so I'm gonna wait. I have to wait to buy to that low. It works 80% of the time, right? Again, let's see what's happening here now with Bitcoin. For how many? 15 days. It's not even 30 days now. And people are just saying, we're going to the moon and we are reversing, da da da. This is just 14 days. We can have this game, we can play this game for 30 days. So basically we can go all the way here to January, right? You can see Christmas with Bitcoin around 42 or even lower. That's the reality that we have to understand, because right now we're just halfway on that week. Alts are dying, alts are bleeding like hell. If you look at Cardano, my gosh, Cardano got that wick filled almost fully. A little bit more and it will be at $1. That I believe is huge, strong support for Cardano, right? ETH almost filled that week as well. BNB, you can see many of them, right? XRP is far away from the week. XRP is a big concern to me right now because this week is so huge. It's 57, right? The move from here to here was 40%, and we still at a big profit for whoever bought down here, 41%. So still a lot of downside. And you see this trend line right here. You understand what is that? That's my big trend line in XRP. Weekly trend line. We may bounce off of it. And you see the week bounce off of it. I'm pretty sure we could very much do something like this and come back here again, right? And then we go up. That's very likely. But again, all depends on this big boy right here. And this big boy has to fill, and this big boy has to fill that wick. I would not believe we're going higher without filling that wick, right? We gotta fill this week. We gotta grab this liquidity before going up. And you see this trend line here pushing us down. That's happening. Every time we come here, we got sold off. So basically you can play this game, right? It's very easy. Just play this game. Bitcoin right here, go back to the line, sold again, go back again, sold again, go back again, and we do this, right? All the way to January. That's very likely. That's very likely, okay? And if we do that, we're gonna again fill the week, grab the liquidity, market psychology, check, we can go up. Before that, very unlikely. As I said, the only times that happens was very, bottom of the channel of multiple years. And here you're just at 46K. We're not ready yet to reverse. There's still a lot of buyers just waiting, right? So basically that's the psychology behind Wick fills. Buyers are just waiting because they know the price can go lower and they are not willing to pay for a higher price, right? They want to be the smartest people in the game. Everyone wants that, all right? So that's it, guys. Just be patient, wait a little bit, play the game, draw the trend lines, because this trend line here, the moment we break it, yes, then we can fly, right? If that happens as well, let's suppose the week will not get filled this time. As I said, 80%. Let's suppose we come back here, rejection, and then we break it. And then we test it again, and then we can go up. If that happens, yes, I will turn bullish again, because we broke the trend line and we are bouncing over it. But right now, that it's not happening. This trend line is still pushing us down. And remember, this is daily. This is a very strong time frame. And you see the pattern forming here. I can definitely see this going on for 37 days. Okay? All the way to beginning of Jan. All right? That's it for today, guys. Thank you very much. Press the like button, subscribe, share the love, and see you on the next one. Bye.